Hello, favorite people. It's your favorite girl, Biolammy, and this is the Young Minds Corner. Welcome to another episode of The Corner. I know this particular episode is long overdue, and I have so many explanations to give to you. At the same time, I want to first of all apologize and tell you that I miss you so much. Like, I miss doing this. I miss your reviews. I miss your comments. I miss you telling me your own view. I miss learning from you. I miss everything that comes with the corner. And I want to apologize for disappearing and not giving you like a proper absent note, right? Okay, I didn't properly say, okay, yes, I will be out for like a second, or I'll be out for like a minute, or I'll be out for like months or days or thereabout. I just zoned out. And this is me saying that I am sorry. I am truly sorry. But yes, at the course of this particular episode, we'll get into that conversation of what I've been doing, why I disappeared, why you think I stopped podcasting that I did not, and other stuff. So yes, secondly, is that I would like to appreciate everyone that reached out to me, everyone that said, "Oh, Biola, how are you doing? Biola, what's up? Why did you disappear?" Shout out to my father's son. Oh my goodness. I know that this is actually something really special to some set of people. Like, the Young Man's Corner podcast is dedicated to a particular set of people that are really special to me, and to that person, to that you. Biolammy, sorry for disappearing, and I really appreciate you for actually telling me that, okay, yes, I understand a lot of things can be going on through your mind right now, and you may not actually be feeling it, but regardless, God got you. Please come back. Thank you so much for all of the notes. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for the comments and telling me, Biola, we see you. We know that a lot are going on through your mind, but yes, keep being yourself and don't forget us. I do not forget you. I've just been in the middle of a lot of things and I had to just sort them one after the other. But at this time, I promise you, this is me vouching for you, that this time we are back like we never left. Yes, the Young Man's Corner podcast is back like we never left. So yes, if you've been slacking on it, don't slack no more. Turn on your notification bell, because it's going to be it back to back, right? And yes, before we continue with the conversation, I really want to welcome some of our new family members, some of the new people, new family in the corner. Yes, so yes, while we were not even recording, quite a number of people reached out to me as new family members. Some people that actually found out about the podcast by themselves, some that I actually told about the podcast, and they listen and they're like, "Oh my goodness, Biolammy, you're doing so much," and we really appreciate it. So yeah, this is me saying to you, welcome on board, welcome to the family, welcome to the part where we learn, unlearn, and relearn. Welcome to the corner where we share it all unapologetically, and that's on period. Yes, so on today's particular episode, we are going to be talking about why Biolammy disappeared and life so far for Biolammy, right? So yes, I'll start by saying that I did not stop podcasting. I only took a break, an indefinite break, right? I did not stop podcasting, and I have actually been going through a lot. I remember the last particular episode, that is Decision-Making Saga. That was really an emotional episode for me, that I had to just hold back and not say anything, because at that point I had so many decisions to make and I didn't know how to go about it. I was really scared to make those decisions. But yes, I have made the decisions and I am living in the reality of the decision. And I tell you, it was not an easy trail. It is not even easy at all. But regardless, that is what we will be talking about today. So yeah, stick around because it's about to be an amazing time. I know that for some persons that are just family members, are not close to me, do not know that presently I am not in Lagos or in the West or thereabout. I am in Delta State. And living by myself, like without mommy, without daddy, without like family, without support system, all right, yeah, it's quite a lot for me. And I feel like me coming here, it's God trying to teach me, because personally, you all know me, that I am that person that I love my space, I love my time, I love myself, I love conversations with myself and my creator, with Abba. But since I got here, it has actually been a different tunnel, like living with people, crowds, with living with a crowd, and also not having like the usual support system that I am used to. So yes, it was actually a tunnel moving around and around this clock for me. It was a lot to deal with, so I had to like forget a lot of things and focus on the ones that are minimal or the ones that are urgent. Making the decision to come to Delta State and deciding to serve in Delta State wasn't an easy one for me, because I had my life planned out living in Lagos, like okay, yes, I'm going to serve in Lagos and there's nothing anyone can tell me about it. But look at me here. They said God disposes. I mean, no, man disposes, God proposes. No, man proposes, God disposes. Exactly. Man proposes, God disposes. And that has actually been my journey, because looking back, I just personally feel like if I had been in Lagos, or if my relocation had worked, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have learned what I have learned so far. I wouldn't have met the people that I have met so far. I wouldn't have experienced what I've experienced about myself so far. So yes, I am still grateful for that tunnel, for that decision and everything. And talking about things that I've learned, I am actually working in a media house, and I must say that this is actually my testimony. These are prayer requests that I wrote for my Hallelujah Challenge, I think February, and me living in the reality right now. So yes, I'm really grateful to God for that part. And now let's get into what I have learned so far. I am working in a media house that has taught me quite a lot, quite a number of things, actually, quite a number of things, because I am this kind of person that is not used to pressure, steam, a lot of pressure actually. And I have actually just understood quite a number of things as regards the media space. It's not just about the beauty, the glass, the glamour and all those stuff. There's a lot of work that goes behind all of those goodness, all of those things you see and you love on the outside. And firstly, I would say that I've learned to be courageous. As much as I can feel like, oh yes, I have actually been a confident child. I've actually been like a confident person. I come out to say what I want to say. I may not necessarily say it in a way that will get you angry, but I'll make sure that I am letting out my heart. But coming here, I was faced with quite a number of pressure, and it got me fidgeting. Like I would feel myself, and I'm like, what's going on, Biola? This is not you. Like I remember working in to a particular interview one time, and the person who was interviewing me said, how old are you? You look like you speak so confidently, and I want to know how old are you. And I told him my age, and he was like, oh no, that can never be your age. And I'm like, yes, that's how old I am. And now coming, me that is that person now coming into this particular space, and I see how things are going on here, and I'm like, oh no, I can feel the pressure so heavy on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh no, is this what you want me to go through? God, I feel like we are going to continue with our baby girl life. What's all this stress? What's all this struggle? But yes, this is me saying that everything I've gone through for the past 6 months that I've been in this place, have actually helped me build like a strong self, a stronger courage, the stronger boldness, the tenacity that I used to feel like I do not have. Now I can grab on it, because the shaking my eyes have seen, my mouth cannot explain. So yes, I would say that I have learned to be courageous regardless of what's going on. I think there was a particular time something happened at the station, and this particular thing really broke me. Like I don't think I've cried so much Like, I used to jokingly, seriously say to my friend that I've cried this year that I've ever cried in my entire life. And I must tell you that the cry I cried within that September, I think the ending part, 20 something thereabouts of September, that month, I think the tears I cried within the weekend, that's from Friday up until Sunday. I don't think I've cried that much in my entire life. Like, even the tears I have been complaining that I've cried all through the years, I don't think I've cried that much. But I cried so much. And one of the funny things about this particular thing is the fact that I am this baby. You know that I am this baby that talk about Haba and how I can like share my thoughts and everything to Haba when I'm going through it. But at this time, I was angry. I felt angry at myself, first of all, and again angry at God, secondly. Let me talk about how I got angry at myself. I was angry that, okay, what's wrong with you? This is not you. I felt like, oh, I didn't know myself anymore. I was feeling so not myself. I'm like, how did you allow the aura in this atmosphere tap into the reality of who you are so deeply that you forget who you are? And this will be our first lesson we should learn from Biolammy's story, is that do not allow the aura of the atmosphere you are in settle into you. Create your own atmosphere. Let me go back and say that again. Do not allow the aura of the atmosphere you are in settle into you, that you would forget your reality, you forget who you are, you forget what God has actually put inside of you, or you will forget who you are building, or you forget all of the goodness you have on your inside. Create your own atmosphere, the atmosphere that allow you flourish. And I think that's one of the things I've actually learned as well. I have learned to create my own atmosphere in this very, very steamy environment. I've learned to create my own atmosphere. And when I say create my own atmosphere, I've tried to like I just set the tone. I just set the tone for how I want to feel. So regardless of what you are bringing to the table, how you are showing yourself, doing your thing, I will stand on being myself. I will stand on the atmosphere I have in my head already. And these have a lot of things to say to who you are and where you're coming from and what your brain can do. It's a game of the mind. It's a game of the spirit. It's a game of your sense. So yes, call in the mind, the spirit, and yourself. Let's have a conversation. Then set the tone. Set the tone of how you want to feel, the tone of how you want to express yourself, the tone of how you want people to perceive you. Because I remember when I came here freshly, because of the kind of mentality I came with, I'm like, oh yes, I want to learn, so why not? Let me just allow everybody be themselves, and I will try to cover myself, not bring out all of everything I have on my inside. But staying here for about 3 months, I realized that when you do not mark your territory, people will go off the bound. I'll come back with that, don't worry, and trust me on that. When you do not mark your territory, people will go off the bound. They would overstep it. They would overstep the boundaries. They would make you feel less of yourself. They will make you feel like you're not capable. I feel like one of the things that I made a mistake with was the fact that I allowed everything sink in. Yes, I allowed everything sink in. I'm like, no problem, bring it on. Now me talk say I won't learn. Now me gonna bring them. Exactly. So yes, I was like, no problem, you can just, don't worry, now me won't learn. And again, I think this mentality of just let them do it. You are learning. Regardless of what they are doing, you learn with it. I get that it is a good mentality. Regardless of what comes your way, pick out the lessons from it and move on. But sometimes, I think you just have to get the balance. Yes, you just have to get the balance right and work with the right mindset. You just have to get the balance right and work with the right mindset, because at the end of the day, everybody just wants to feel good.
at the detriment of how you feel, at the detriment of who you are, at the detriment of what come out of the conversation. They just want to be the best version of themselves. They just want to feel good. They don't care who you are. Nobody care about you, bro. Nobody care about you. So at the end of the day, you are the one who have to fight for yourself, fight for your atmosphere, create what you want to be in, create your own atmosphere, set the boundaries, and be yourself. So yes, one of the lessons I've learned, I know lots of lessons in this particular one, so yes, stay tuned for more. I would say that one of the things I've actually learned is the ability to live with people. Yes, I have known myself to be that child that loved to be myself. I remember myself and my dad would always fight because I am always in my room. Like, I don't care what can be happening in the sitting room, outside the house. If I want to be indoor, you can't bring me out. You can't bring me out. Like, you can't, there's nothing you can do. I won't come out. And now coming to Delta State, where I do not have my own personal space, where I do not have my own, somewhere I can call my space, where I cannot be myself. I am this kind of person that likes to talk to myself so much. I like to talk to Abba so much. Like, I can just, you feel like, is this girl going gaga? I remember one particular night that I was trying to, I think, pray, and one of my roommates said that this girl, in the middle of the night, she's standing up to dance or to, what's she saying? Why is she acting like a mad person? One, that actually got me very, very angry. But the fact that I was praying, I could not even say so much. So I just let it slide. But that thought got me very vexed. And I'm like, bro, am I weird? I'm not. This is just me. I just like to be by myself. And I've actually found a good balance to this. I use my workplace as a place of being by myself, and I use the home as my daddy's sitting room. You get the gist? Yes. So yes, I use my home right now, the place I call home where I sleep, as my dad's sitting room, and my workplace as my own room where I can zone everybody out and be by myself. I've learned to actually cope with living with people. As much as I used to say that I love people, yeah, I love people, I love to be around people, but as much as I want to be around people, I like my space. I like you can sense the relief, right? I like being by myself. I love the jokes, oh my goodness, the jokes I make with myself, the conversations I have with myself and Abba, and all of those things. So yes, coming to live with quite a number of people was one of the things that really, really got me living. Jesu. If you don't know what Jesu is Jesus. Yes, in Yoruba language. Yes, so I'm like, no, I don't think I can survive. I think the first 2 nights I moved into this particular place, I didn't sleep. Like, I didn't blink my eye because I was super scared of, I don't know these people. Like, and you expect me to close my eyes and sleep? Hell no. I can't sleep yet. But yes, as time goes on, I've learned to adapt. So yes, that would be our number 4 lesson. You will learn to adapt. Always learn to adapt to the environment. As much as you are creating your territory, creating the atmosphere, learn to adapt to create yourself, because when you are not settled, when you're not comfortable, I don't think you'll be able to exhibit the best of the best inside you. So yes, learn to adapt. And moving on to the next lesson I've learned so far. I know that this one will be quite contradicting, because I said that, okay, I've learned to live with people. And another thing I want to say is that I've learned to live by myself. I've actually been that girl that I can call daddy, I can call mommy, I can call my siblings. I've never been by myself, even when I was actually schooling in Ekiti State. There's a family member there that I can run and go and meet if anything is going south. Or yeah, I can go and meet the person and tell the person, okay, yes, I don't think I'm in my right frame of mind. Can you please come to my rescue? And they're gonna come. But yes, coming to Delta State where there is nobody, like there's nowhere to run to. Is that how you face it or you face it? Yeah, it was really something for me. I'm like, oh no, bro. I cried so much. I cried so much. And at the end of the day, look at me. Look at me. I'm trying to cope. and I'm coming out strong, and that's on period. Yes, and that's on period. So yes, all of these things that I've said will let you in on the fact that I did not stop podcasting. I only took a break because I was trying to find a balance between my life. And a lot of people came to meet me and like, Bella, think about the person you're talking to right now, because I know that I am not the only young adult struggling with settling in. I think few weeks ago I was in a conversation with some set of young adults, and they were like, traveling abroad. Some persons were of the argument that, oh yes, they want to travel abroad, and this is it, and they just want to settle and jackpa. And another lady said one thing that actually struck me. She was like, look at us, we are serving, and the federal government took us away from our comfort zone and dumped us where we don't know anywhere. If you're lucky to get your relocation done, good for you. But for some of us that we did not, somebody like me, that I tried my relocation 3 times and the relocation did not 3 times me. Yes. So yes, she was like, oh, the 3 persons, like 3 times you tried your relocation and it didn't work. For some of us that tried the relocation and it did not work. And we are here. We are in somewhere we cannot even call comfort. Instead of to talk of comfort zone, they come to drop us in somewhere that is so uncomfortable. We are not even settled yet. Now imagine how you would go from where you are right now to live. If you're still living in Nigeria, now imagine you going out of the country where you don't know anybody, how you would struggle and try to find your feet. And this will lead me to the next thing I want to talk about, and that is the struggle of living in a new place. I think I struggle with so many things living where I am right now. I struggled with a lot of culture shock. I'm like, what's going on here? God, what is going on here? Like, I'm worried. I'm bothered. The fact that you cannot, where I came from, it's always agbojo, yaba. But yeah, you can't hear it. Like, is it that you're showing them the sign? And oh my goodness. You don't want to get me started because I've entered the wrong bus countless times. I'm just like trying to familiarize myself to their culture right here. And I've entered the wrong bus because they'll be pointing to the back, pointing to the front, like doing like, I don't know, what are you people doing? I'm lost. I'm so lost. Please help me. But yeah, these are some of the things that I actually learned coming here. And these are the few struggles I had. Culture shock, the fact that I had to live by myself, like there is no community, there's no support system, there's nowhere to run to. Is that you face it or you face it. Another thing I think I've learned is I've learned to face my demons. And I'm not talking about demons. There's no demon. There are no demons here in the name of Jesus, Holy Ghost fire. But yes, you get the gist. I've learned to face my fears. I think one of the greatest fears I had here was the fact that somebody is listening to me. You know, talking right here is a different ballgame because I'm the one that set the tone. But yes, coming to the station where people are literally listening to you as you speak, you say rubbish, they are listening. You say good thing, they are listening. You say correct thing, they are listening. You do not say they are listening to you. That fear, first of all, crippled the living day out of me. But as time goes on, I've tried my best to face it and say, don't worry, I'm going to face this. I'm going to come out strong. And I think I've been trying my best to do just that. And I'm not going to fall your hand. Never, never, never. There's one particular thing I actually want to talk about, but I'm looking at my script right now, and I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for that conversation right now. But yeah, I would dedicate a particular episode to this one because it's even going to be a series. The conversation cannot end here. No, it cannot, because it's a lot by itself. But yeah, I will talk about making new friends. I'm this kind of person that I am a jolly good fellow. I like to be friends with you as much as I can create my boundaries and everything, but I can be a good person. But coming here where I don't even understand their language, oh God, being friends with people here can just be a lot. But really, thank God for community, thank God for church. Thank God for the units that I joined going to church, and they've actually helped me like find friends that I can actually say, okay, yes, this is my friend. I actually found a friend in the other state. So yes, it can actually be hard because you don't know people. You don't know people, and you came on board with a different mentality, and these particular people are coming with another mentality. Now imagine you guys coming together to be friends. It can be a lot, and I tell you, it's not beans. It's not beans at all. But yeah, we try our best to be good people. I try my best to be a good person and be friendly as possible. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to tell you that I did not run away. I just had so much to deal with, and I had to settle it very well. But on this note, I want to tell you that I am not running away, and I'm trying my best to make new friends so that we can have more people come on the podcast, so we can have good conversation, because young adults are actually going through a lot that we have to discuss here at the corner. So yes, I say sit down, sit tight, and keep it locked at the... I wanted to say something right now, but I'm going to value it. Keep it locked on the Young Minds Corner podcast, because it's going to be juicy right here. Thank you so much for listening up until this time. Thank you for listening to all of my jargons and listening to all of the good things I have to say. I hope you've learned something from this particular episode. More knowledge, more wisdom are about to come. I trust that God will do the deal and interpret it properly to you. So yes, if you want to get to know Biolammy better, and this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome home. Welcome to the corner. If you want to get to know Biolammy, then you can follow Biolammy on Instagram at BIOLA_MMY. Let me take that again. BIOLA_MMY. And also, you can follow me on the X platform that was formerly known as Twitter, the dangerous place, at the podcast girl. Yes, the podcast girl. And yes, if you want to follow the Young Minds Corner podcast everywhere, on Instagram, it's the Young Minds Corner _podcast. The Young Minds Corner _podcast. And on X platform, that is Twitter, it's the Young Mind Corner. The Young Mind Corner podcast. Yes, and that is how you will find the podcast and every other thing that we are doing aside from podcasting. So listen to the podcast. You can listen to the Young Minds Corner podcast on every listening platform, on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and every other listening platform that you know, okay? That you know. You know, before I leave, I would always say something. Leave it in God's hand. And God will never mismanage your life. Leave it in God's hands, because God can never ever mismanage your life. But today and in this season, I've learned something else, and I would like to tell you. Leave it in God's hand and live in God's hands. Leave it in God's hands and live in God's hand. He can never mismanage your life. Let me take that again. Leave it in God's hands and live in God's hands. It can never ever mismanage your life. And that's on period. My name is Biolammy, and at this point, at this junction, I am done talking. Thank you so much for listening up until time. I love you so much, and from me to you, it's a bye.